Why'd you say hi, daughter? Oh, okay. Yeah. You don't... Yeah. Yeah. Oh, really? Yeah, of course I do. They didn't know they were both coming? When? Huh. 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 Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Why didn't she bring you your nice tops? Well, that's dumb. That's dumb because nobody's stolen your nice clothes you've had in there all these months. I told you she would. Mm-hmm. Did you like any of them? Did she bring you any of your new tops? I told you she likes you to look unattractive. I don't like her. You have to remember, too, your closet is so, you know what I mean? She has to go through it all, and she doesn't feel like it. Why did she bring you pants that don't fit you? What size are they? Oh, yeah, she probably didn't even look, Mom. She doesn't know. They look the same. Are they one of those new ones that were at size 14? Because she doesn't give a shit. I told you that. What brand are those? What brand are they? Are they the ones that the Calvin Kleins you bought off of me? Oh, I don't know what they are. I don't know. That you got what? What about it? That's for going out. That's not for... Oh. But, Mom, just, I mean, I can't stand her, but just in her defense, you have so much in your closet. She's like, I'm sure she's thinking, I'm not going to spend... She doesn't give a shit. She's not going to spend all day. She's going to grab whatever. You know what I mean? Uh-huh. Oh, that's nice. I would have brought you candy or whatnot when I was visiting. You didn't say, you said you didn't want anything. I asked you. Yeah. Other hospitals you've been in, I brought you candy. Other hospitals you were in, I brought you candy. Last time when I asked you, like, no, I just want you to bring your beautiful self. That's what you said to me. I'm like, do you want me to bring anything, food or what? And I said, no. What are you wearing that don't fit you? I don't know what they are, Mom. I don't know. Maybe, who knows? What? Yeah, I don't know. But I warned you she wouldn't. Didn't I? Didn't I predict it? You have to, didn't I predict? And like, she's not going to care. She's not going to bring you your good stuff. She's just going to grab whatever. I warned you of that. And I was right. I know, it sucks. It all sucks. Oh, that's nice. It's nice, Mama. That's nice. Not good. Yeah. When did I talk to you? I did tell you about that, and that I was going to move out, right? So, my roommate, apparently, he's lived here for years, okay? He's lived here for years, okay? I can't talk too loud because they live right next door. He's lived here for years, right? So he decided, because he let me know last week that he believed his landlord was doing, like, being sneaky and trying to do stuff to get him to leave, right? Like complaining about stupid stuff and whatnot. So he gave me a heads up about that. So then when this thing happened with the dog, I told him that I was going to leave, okay? He called his roommate, called his landlord yesterday, right? Can you hear me? I can't talk real loud. He called his landlord yesterday, right? And said to his landlord, he didn't go too deep into what happened with the dog, because it's not the landlord's business, right? He just said that I'm going to leave. He probably just said his dog doesn't get along with my dog. So he said I'm planning on leaving, right? And then he said that he's going to leave too. He decided that he'd rather not stay because he feels like the landlord wants him out anyway, and it's too much aggravation to find a new roommate and whatnot, okay? Right? He tells his landlord we're going to leave by the end of June, which is the legal fair thing, because this is already the mid-month. We already paid this month's rent, so that's what you do. You give notice on the next month's rent, and then you move out a month later. Okay? His landlord says to him in a hostile manner, "Can you make it sooner?" Yep. And then he says to him, what? I can't talk louder, Mom. Then he says to my roommate, well, you're not even supposed to have a roommate, and I could throw her out right now if I wanted to. No, he can't, Mom. I stayed up all fucking night. I only got 3 hours sleep, and when I don't get sleep, it's not good. I feel a little crazy. Plus, I'm fasting today just for the hell of it. I fasted Friday, too. And yesterday I didn't eat that much. I'm agitated. I had panic attacks. I stayed up all night talking to online lawyers, having them email me, asking them what my legal rights are, etc., etc. Emailing Joe, emailing my friend, my online friend and whatnot. And the bottom line is, this landlord is just throwing his weight around. He cannot just throw me out like he said. But the fact that he said it makes me ill, Mom. I talked to Joe today for 2 hours, right? First of all, Joe says it's sick that this landlord actually called. My roommate pays $1,600 a month here, okay? $1,600. $1,600. Yes. I wasn't paying half. I was paying $600, but that doesn't matter. My roommate pays $1,600 a month to live here, and this landlord bitches when we had cold days here, right? We had cold days. Not my fault we had cold days. The heat was set below 60. It was on 58. The landlord called up and is bitching. And my roommate said, look, it's set to 58. The reason it turned on is because it went down below that in the house. It went, And he's trying to lie now and say, no, it wasn't. It was 73. No, it wasn't. The news even said we had abnormally cold days, right? Basically, I said, don't they get cold? And you know what my roommate said to me? Oh, they have a wood-burning stove. That made Joe just, he's like, oh my God, that's so sick. Yeah, they're nice and warm, but they want you to freeze to death. I'm like, yeah. And in the light of the fact that he pays $1,600 a month to live here, and they're going to bitch because the heat turns on, the landlord will say, and yeah, we're not perfect. I mean, guess one day it was warmer out, and the landlord called up legitimately and said, because the stupid furnace turned on, and he said you can just open a window and it will reach that in the house or whatnot. You don't have to. But this other day he's talking about, no, we had cold days here, Mom. It was like 40 degrees when I would take home out in the morning, And especially when he's paying $1,600 a month, the guy's going to say that. But even forget about that. That already pissed me off. And now he's saying I could throw out right now if I wanted to. No, you can't. No, you fucking can't, you prick. And, I'm just furious. At first I was being compliant, and I was telling my roommate, I was like, well, I'll try to, I can't promise anything, but I'll try to find a room, find a new place for me and Omar to live by the end of the month. And then I'm like, you know what? No, I'm not going to do that. I am not going to do that. That landlord had no right to say that and to make ominous threats or whatnot, He doesn't have a leg to stand on, and I've been talking to online lawyers and whatnot. Especially here in Massachusetts, it's very pro-tenant when it comes to the law, But for him to even say it makes me sick, okay? What a jerk is right. And, if I told my roommate today, I laid the law down, I told him, like, you know what? He's not going to fuck me over, and neither are you. I said, you need to give him a written notice that we will be out by the end of June. And you know what Joe said to me? I laid it down. I gave it to my roommate straight. I'm like, I don't care what's going on between you. For him to even say that is sick, and it's not true. He cannot just throw me out. I have been paying rent here for 4 months. I have changed Social Security to this address. I have proof that I paid him. I have money order stubs. I've been paying rent to live here. The landlord knows I'm here. It's not like he lives in Timbuktu and my roommate snuck me in. No, he acknowledged it. He introduced me one time and said, I'm the landlord if you need anything. So he can't turn around and say, you're not even supposed to have a roommate. I could have a thrower. No, you can't, you fucking prick, right? But the fact that he even said it made me sick. You know what Joe says to me? If he gives you any kind of a hard time, you sue his ass, okay? You sue his ass for emotional distress. Because I was like panicked and whatnot. He has no right. If he gives me any kind of hard time, I will sue him. You know what I mean? He has no right to do that, Mom. On top of the fact, I'm going to tell my roommate, this, he's like, I talked to my friend Joe today, and he says what your landlord does in regards to the goddamn heat turning on and whatnot. The bottom line is he's making $1,600 a month, but he probably doesn't like having me here all the time, using the heat and electricity. If I was working, that wouldn't be the case. Joe's like, it doesn't matter. He's like, someone could move in that worked from home and use the heat and electricity all the time, It's bullshit. He's making a shitload of money. He's going to bitch because the stupid furnace turns on, and then I find out that he has a wood-burning stove. Oh, of course, he can be toasty warm, but we have to freeze to death, or I have to freeze to death, Bullshit. Bullshit. He's just throwing his weight around. I told my roommate, no. I'm like, he's not going to fuck me over, and neither are you. I'm like, I'm not going to be at it. I believe he says that, can you make it sooner? And then he's trying to say, well, you're not supposed to have a roommate. Bullshit, he had a roommate before, but it doesn't even matter. The guy, his landlord already acknowledged that I was here and didn't, say I had to leave. So, and, no, he didn't say anything about Omar. It doesn't matter, Mom. The fact of the matter is he's being an asshole, and what he thinks is he can I don't know my rights. I told Bob, I told my roommate, I said, you know, you're the only, you know, I said he's not dealing with an idiot here. But I stayed up all night. I only slept 3 hours because I was agitated. I tried to go to sleep earlier and I was agitated. I really wanted to find out the truth, you know. So I was finding out stuff in other states and whatnot. I really wanted something tangible, you know, to make sure, because he's a tenant at will. He doesn't have a lease, and I don't have. It's only an oral agreement, and the same with me. I only have an oral agreement with him, you know. But it doesn't matter. The law says you can't just throw someone out on the street. He's just being a prick, this landlord. And in the end, like, I want to say to my roommate too, you know, because my friend even mentioned this, like. I'm like, my friend Joe says that if your landlord gives me a hard time in regards to our declaration that we are not going to, we're giving him 30 days, which starts on the 1st, and if he gives me a hard time, I'm going to sue him. And don't forget, I'm also disabled, you know. He's fucking with me and causing me emotional distress. He better not do it. He better just back down, because he doesn't have a legal leg to stand on. He thinks he does, though. He thinks he does, saying, I can just throw out right now if I want to. No, you can't. No, you can't. I've lived here for 4 months. You're aware that I've lived here. I have proof that I paid rent, and I changed my address. I have official documents that have come here. I changed my address with Social Security. You know? And I should have all the rights that my roommate would have. And if I know my roommate wouldn't do that, but even in a situation, I believe, if my roommate was going to be a jerk and say he's leaving in 2 weeks, that landlord would still have to go through the courts to evict me, you know, because obviously I wouldn't pay the rent. I can't afford to pay $1,600, you know. He would still have to go to through the courts. He can't just throw me out. He thinks he can. He's just throwing his weight around. Joe didn't like that. He says you sue his fucking ass if he gives you any hard time, Laura. You know. So I'm tired. I don't know if Believe is on tonight. It wasn't on last week because the Rosemary's Baby was on. No, I don't like that shit. Did you? No, I don't watch Rosemary's Baby. I don't like that kind of shit. Yeah, I watch The Voice. Channel. Maybe, I don't know, maybe Believe's not on, in which case I'll go to bed. I don't know, I can't describe it. It's about this girl that has powers. She's 10 years old. Yeah. I don't even know. No, it's a regular channel. 9. How can you watch it? Don't you have to watch whatever people are watching in there, or? Yeah, but you won't know what's going on. You haven't watched it from the beginning like I have. Yeah. I watched it from the beginning. Uh-huh. What do you mean every morning? In the morning? I thought you sleep till 7. You told Cheryl and me that you go to bed at 10 and wake up at 7. Why did he have to say that, Mom? What a prick, huh? He should have just accepted, okay, you'll be out by the end of June. No, just because that's why these laws are in place or whatnot, and they're very strong in Massachusetts, so a landlord can't do that, you know? Can't just say, I want you out of here, so you have to leave. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. It makes me very upset. So on top of being exhausted, I'm upset. Yeah. All right, so you still don't know when you're getting out. Well, if you get out tomorrow, give me a call. Whenever you get out, you give me a call. But I don't know, just because you say Monday or Tuesday. Last time they said the same thing and you didn't get out, so. Yeah, that's par for the course in the mental hospital, people screaming. Yeah, why did he do that, Mom? Why is he such a prick, you know? So I could just throw... What? I know he doesn't think of me as a person. Joe's like, you should go over there personally and say, you know, but I'm not going to do that. Joe's big on confrontation. I'm not going to go over there. I told my roommate, you need to make out a certified or whatever. You need to have hand him a formal thing and say that's it. And if he gives you a hard time, you're going to say that I know my legal rights. You know? He's fucking with the wrong person, Mom. He probably just thinks whatever. He just, you know, he's a bully. And I don't like bullies. I was bullied as a kid, as you very well know. And that's being a bully. I don't like that shit. And at first, I was backing down. I was compliant. I was telling, and then I thought about it, and my roommate rents a dryer and washer, and he was ending the thing next Friday, and I'm like, you know, it's highly unlikely that I'm going to be able to find a place in 2 weeks. Like, why did you get rid of the washer and dryer, even if we were going to only be here to the middle of next month? And he's like, well, I wanted to save myself. I'm like, you know, he doesn't even have to keep the goddamn washer and dryer. I'll take a friggin' bus to do my laundry, whatever. But it's just the indication that, you know, and I wasn't sure if that 30 days started, like, if it could be mid-month, right? Which means we'd have to be out at the middle of the month. But from what I'm reading, no. And the free lawyer wrote back to me, said no. And what I read about even a landlord gives you notice, it's very... Listen to me. I'm not taking him to court. He can't, all I want to make sure is he can't just go get the police like he thinks and just throw me out. He can't do that. Even if, he can't do that. He's full of shit. He's just throwing his weight around, being a bully. And I found out that the law is very specific, that even some states, I guess, it does go considered day to day, which means 30 days would be if he said, I want you out on the 17th, then it would be the next month, 17th. But no, I think around here, the lawyer knows where I live. Look, okay, listen, but just let me tell you, the lawyer knows where I live, and he said that, you know, it has to start on, it starts the full rental term, so he has to let us stay to the end of June. Okay. So anyway, that's what's going on with me. Definitely let me know when you get to the new hospital. Okay. All right. Love you, Mama. Bye. People screaming all around. I don't know if the leaves on tonight. I know it wasn't on last Sunday. Might not be on tonight either. I hope it's not. I'm just going to go to bed. I should be able to fall asleep early. See, as I only slept 7:30 to 10:30, and when I got up to take Omar, pee-pee poo-poo, feed him. He went his pee-pee poo-poo earlier tonight. We went for a walk from 27 to 7:50. And he ate before that. So he's done. He's done. I'm done. I might just go wash my dishes and go to bed. Spilled something on these pants. I thought it was water, but it's not. That's why it's staining. It doesn't matter, even if he has complaints about me. They're not major complaints, and they're not anything he's ever said to anybody, to my roommate, nobody. So he can't just suddenly say, "You know, just have a roommate. I could throw out right now." Oh, fuck you. Makes me sick you even said it. It feels like, what do you expect, Laura? Most people are assholes. And he did say, you know, if he gives you a hard time, you sue him. As Joe was talking, I just asked too, because he's saying something about you sue him for 12 months worth of $1,600, and then another $10,000 for emotional distress. Like, it's like $30,000. But how would I do that? I've only lived here a few months, and I don't pay. I mean, I don't know what Joe's talking about, but it doesn't matter. I would never do that. I wouldn't even force him to have it go that far. But he's a fucking prick, and I'm not leaving. And I'm not going to be forced to leave before the end of the month. If I find something before then, that's one thing. But I'm paying, you know. I'm going to go to bed early tonight, Omar. You slept, and Mama stayed up all friggin' night, although I didn't stay up twiddling my thumbs. Although I was reading regrettable shit, and that's only because I get fascinated with people's comments, you know. They'll have Pamela Anderson in her body now at 46, oh my God. And then I get fascinated reading people's freaking comments, but that takes up too much time. It's pretty useless, you know. I'd rather not even do it. But a majority of the night I was studying all this crap, trying to understand the deal with where it says it's either the term of one rental term or 30 days, whichever is greater. I didn't know what that meant, but I thought maybe it meant that, and then I got it specifically on another site. The landlord actually has to, it's very specific with a tenant at will. He has to give the notice right on the first when you pay the rent. And he can't just, it said he can't just give it on the middle of the month, say, like right now, on May 17th, and tell you to be out by the end of the month. He can't do that. He thinks he can, he's ignorant, or he's just throwing his weight around and doesn't realize that I know my legal rights. And even if I didn't specifically know them to the degree which, because I don't have any written agreement with my roommate, I'm still trying to make sure with this lawyer, online free lawyer, 100%, you know. But he even said, the online lawyer, well, it's even better for you that your roommate doesn't have any kind of written agreement with the landlord, because he can't prove that you're not actually just a co-tenant or whatnot. The landlord can't. But I'm not, you know what I mean? But that's what he said. He's like, he wouldn't be able to prove that. On the bottom line, I just want to make sure he can't make good on his threat. Because I know there are horror stories. I've read about them where a landlord thinks that he can just force someone to leave on his own, or call the police and tell him you're trespassing or something. You know, I don't know what he thinks. I know what he thinks. He thinks, oh, you know, she's not on any kind of agreement with me or whatnot, and I can just throw her out. Maybe either he thinks that and he's ignorant, or he's just bluffing, you know, he's just throwing his weight around. He thinks I won't fight it and we'll just move out like he wants us to do, you know. Fuck him. He couldn't even force me to move out if he had legitimate complaints. I even was reading stuff where it says you have to give some kind of thing where if there's a complaint, you say you give them a certain amount of time to fix the situation or something. You cannot just throw someone out the street. And Massachusetts law is very strict about that. Maybe even more so than other states. I don't know. But I was trying to find something tangible that I could print out, you know, in regards to What are my legal rights as the roommate of a tenant at will? And I never pay rent to the landlord directly. I pay it to my roommate. What happens in a situation if your roommate decides to move out? I'm curious about that, even though I'm not in that situation, because I don't believe for a second he would do that to me. He doesn't seem like the type, who would fuck me over like that. He was gone today, and I kept his dogs back here, but I didn't let the dog out all day. Just now I did for just 18 minutes, that's all. Because until we get this cleared up, I don't want anything coming down on my head about, we told you the dog's barking and she still lets him out. Yeah. And I told my roommate that I do a cut way back on it. I feel bad for the dog. But in the end, if that's going to be thrown back in my face, let the dog stay in all goddamn day, What am I supposed to do? I'll do it for the dog's sake. I cut way back. I was leaving him out all for hours, and then I cut back to only having him out when I took him for his walk for 40 minutes. So that would only be 2 to 3 times 40 minutes a day, but he might throw that back. Then fine. I won't have him out at all. Or like right now, he was out for 18 minutes, that's it. Quick. Feel bad for him, but, what am I supposed to do? I'll be out of here soon and never see him again anyway. For that landlord to say that, to pull that shit, made me so angry. And I was telling Joe, and he got angry. He's like, you sue his ass if he gives you any kind of hard time, Laura. And I'm going to tell my roommate what Joe said, and I'm also going to say, don't. And remember, I'm also disabled, okay? You're not going to fuck with me. This landlord's not going to fuck with me. I want to do the right thing, but I'm going to assert my legal rights to have ample time to find a new place to live.